Are you having fun beating me on the head, Cecil? Are you?
Probably.
Okay, that's gotta go. There we go. Back here. Hey, that's my ear. That's my ear, Cecil. What do you think you're doing? Hmm? What do you think you're doing? Yeah, that's easy for you to say down there.
There we go. We have some visitors. We have
Hey,
Jocelyn and we have Lisa. So hey, you guys.
hey, Cecil has brought you a donut today, guys. Well, a wooden donut, huh? Is that what that is? That's one of the donated pieces of wood that I'm told that macaws can't break. It's too hard for them. It's not too hard for him. He can, when he decides to crunch it, it'll just turn into pieces, won't it? Right now, it's fun to hit me with. All right. Right, Cecil? And he's figured out his toy now. He was playing it a little while ago, wasn't you? It's a little musical instrument, and he's been playing it. He knows it's his toy. Don't you, KK? Yeah. Cecil, I'm trying to look the other way, and you're whacking me in the head with that. It's hard to turn your head when somebody's hitting you with a piece of wood. You better watch out, or I'll take you to Home Depot with me when I go get wood.
They probably like it.
He does. He likes it. He likes going out like that. I haven't tried this Home Depot. The other ones I've been to are all okay with me bringing a parrot in, but hey, it's a little hard to load up the cart with wood when you've got one of these guys on a tether, but actually Mandrew does pretty well in that situation. He'll sit up on they have those carts that are meant for wood and they look like big perches, so he'll sit up there while I do it. This one will try to fly off of it a bit, won't you? Even though he doesn't really realize he can fly, do you? Do you, boy? Do you realize you can fly, or you just don't want to do it? Hmm?
Could be either.
Yeah, there's no way to know. Lucy, what do you say? Lucy's never been to Home Depot. Have you?
I think Lucy
No.
would like the chocolate sample.
Yeah. Would you like to go to Home Depot? Hmm? Yeah, let's see who else we have in here. Jasmine. She's being nice to Salamander today. We don't have any Mander issues.
Oh, Amanda's out, is he?
Yep. Oh yeah.
Hey, Amanda,
Bing.
he's been out 2 meetings in a row. That was awesome.
Not just that, he was actually doing circles around in his cage, like take me out, take me out.
It's getting confident.
I was a little worried about leaving Jasmine out because she chased him last time, but she hasn't been. She hasn't paid any attention to him. Right, Mander? And then Pippa has to come out later too because she won't leave him alone. So, what are you looking at? What are you looking at, Sugarbird? Cecil, what are you doing? Hmm? Are you pawing me in the face again? Are you? Are you really grinding your beak?
Getting comfy.
Am I boring you up there, huh? Am I boring you, little girl? Sugar bird? Hey, Mander. You're not playing your instrument. You're just going to sit there and protect it? Hmm? You're just going to sit there and protect it? Cecil, come on. Watch the glasses. This one's starting to go through toys at a pretty and an increased rate too. So our wholesaler who had trouble shipping there for a while has I've got about 4 pieces of yellow wood left. And she doesn't like, well, she'll do another color if she has to, but she likes to, she prefers the yellow ones. So that's my ear.
She's so cute.
You're going after my ear. What's that all about? Hmm? You think that the local Home Depot's ready for you, huh?
So Cinnamon and Jocelyn are going on a trip to Florida. It sounds like lots of fun. So I hope you guys enjoy your trip.
Yeah, it's good you're going now. In 100 years, you'd have to have scuba equipment. What are you doing?
And we have some other chatters that joined. We have Falcon Sue and Warm Fuzzy Vibes. So hello to both of you.
Hello. You can say hello, but you never will. You never say hello. You know how? Cecil, and that. What's up with you? Hmm? You haven't even whined yet.
She's working up to it.
Looks like she's watching Cecil play with that toy. Yep. Occasionally looking at me. Jasmine's doing her usual. Stay quiet until the meeting's over and then start running around like a crazy bird. Mander. So much calmer, Mander. Just have to have 2 birds out of here. What are you doing, Jazz? I want to sleep again. You gonna play us a song? Yeah, thank you. I did always wanted a bird to sneeze in my face. That's what I wanted. He looks pretty relaxed, don't you, KK? Ouch! Would you watch that? My ear is not a toy. My ear is not a toy. He likes to play with 2 toys. He's got that piece of wood, and he figured he'd put my ear in there too. it didn't work. No, it didn't work.
So Warm Fuzzy says that her bird Missy has a favourite toy, which is the measuring spoons on the stainless steel chain and some plastic rings. She throws it around on the floor, but she ignores the blocks on the chain in her cage. That's typical, isn't it? You put one in their
Yeah,
cage and they ignore it. They want the one that you use. Because they think it's a human toy.
what? What? You're going to give me the hard look now. I'm not sure I know what that means. Hmm? What are you doing, Mander?
What?
Mander. Mander, Mander, Mander. Mander, Mander. Mander, 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 Mander.
Are we engaging Mander? Mander. Mander bird. Okay. And do the auntie's funny sounds. Mander. Hello. Hello.
No.
Oh,
Cecil. Only bird.
Crest goes up. Crest goes up.
Mander, Mander, salamander. Oh, Mander. We need Johnny Weissmuller to do the old Tarzan sound, you know? Or those kookaburras that are that they use the sounds from in a movie that's supposed to be done in Africa. There are no African kookaburras. Mander. Mander. You got really close there for a minute.
Sugar, do you think we are silly? Certainly. Look at that sugary bird. Mander. Mander, Mander, salamander. Mander, Mander, salamander. Mander bird.
Mander.
Mander bird. Well, Mander, it's a pity. We cannot do the jungle sounds as you do.
We just don't do them as nicely as you.
He just does the perfect original jungle sounds.
And Rosebud joined us. So hello, Rosebud. Sorry to hear of your internet troubles, but we're glad to have you back with us.
Lisa, I think Don put us on speaker, so yeah, Amanda can hear us at the moment. I think.
Yes, you're on speaker.
Amanda, jungle sounds.
We are not doing it for threatening away viewers.
Mander, come on, Mander. You can do it. Mander, salamander.
Mander boy. Well, I'm not sure how Mander reacts really, if he is pleased that we're talking to him or not. Last time I talked to him, he finally tried to hide under the camera. So Don put me on speaker and on a tripod in front of Mander's cage, and then went away. And I was talking to Mander, and Mander was looking, and finally he climbed down in the dead angle where I couldn't spot him anymore.
Yeah, maybe he's getting too shy. We don't want to
Mander.
overwhelm them.
Yeah, our two shy boys have sharing a corner in the bedroom.
Yeah.
But he still adores his aunties. Amanda, if you could, you would sit next to Sugar, right?
Sweet boy. Sugar, what are you doing? What are you doing? Sugar the bird. Sugar bird. Jasmine and Sugar bird. There's Jasmine. What you doing? Sugar bird. Hey, Amanda. Yeah, he's pretty calm in here now. He was just scared to death of coming in this room, but he gets in here at night too, so. Hi, sweetheart. How you doing? How's that Kiki?
So sweet. So Rico is napping on his tree stand. Probably some of ours are napping too. But Lucy is not napping.
No, but she likes to sit. That's her spot. She likes to sit right there.
She likes to look lovingly into your eyes.
She's got the prettiest eyes, don't you, girl? I thought when they made that movie, well, those idiots, I don't know what else to call them, the people who were the illustrators that did Rio and the sequel, giving them the whites around their eyes was just stupid. I mean, I understand they're trying to make them look more human, but the proof that they were stupid is they had the parrots with 3 toes. There aren't any parrots with 3 toes. They all have 4 on each foot. What a train wreck of a movie. Offering them chocolate, feeding them out of their mouths. You know, why didn't they just take a shotgun and kill them? I mean, that's just awful.
Yeah, some people just don't have any idea.
Have you heard of researching the subject before you make an animation?
I think they're supposed to have fact checkers in Hollywood, but I don't think they do a very good job.
No, they did a horrible job on this movie. But they chose a good name for the movie. I mean, trying to say something good about it. I can't. Her eyes look just ridiculous to me. They could have, if they wanted to make them more expressive, those of us who've been around cockatoos for a while don't need this, but or around any parrots, they could have simply made them a little bit lighter so that you could see the iris opening and closing, when they were talking, that kind of thing, in the movie. But no, they didn't do that. They thought they'd make them look human by putting the white there. And with parrot eyes in general, you have the eye that you're actually seeing is about 1/8 of the size of the eye. That's why they're such a bulge, because they have huge eyes inside their head, giant eye sockets, and they see so much more than we do.
We see you, Sugar. Sugar.
Sugar bird. Well, it's kind of funny when I went. Friends of mine took me to see that movie, and I'm yelling at the screen during the movie.
That sounds like the kind of thing you do.
Unfortunately, but
did they ever take you to a movie again?
Yeah, they did. But
okay.
it certainly wasn't the sequel to Rio. Which, by the way, these guys don't like that movie. They won't. They would rather watch a horror movie, I think, than watch that. They don't like animations in general, but that one in particular. It was crazy too that they made the cockatoo in the movie the evil. I mean, I'm not sure where they got that idea, making the cockatoo the evil guy. No.
I guess nobody wants their favorite animal to be the evil one.
Well, it just isn't. Their natures aren't like that. If you want a bird that tends to get a little bit more, what's the word for it? It has a little more of a reputation for that kind of thing, you'd choose an Amazon. I don't have any problems with Amazons, but they're a little more standoffish. I mean, a cockatoo wants to jump on you. That's the first thing I see with a cockatoo. But with an Amazon, it takes a little time to get to know them. And if you want to have a bird that will plan your life for you, it would be a Congo African gray. They should all have names like General Patton, should always begin with General because they seem to want to run things. Murray she was a trip. She was an older bird and she lived with me for a few years, but she would just, whenever these cockatoos would do something she didn't like, she'd say, "Good grief."
So Eliza says that Snowbird likes Jurassic Park, and Lisa says Rico watches Gunsmoke.
Oh, really? It's funny. They all have different favorite movies too. Back when the television was where they could see it, where it is now, there's only a few birds can see it because it's mainly for Romeo. But he is coming out of his cage now, but he watches movies all day. But when they were able to watch it, I mean, they all had their favorites. If you keep grabbing my ear, I can't think while you're trying to rip my ear off. It's a little tough. if you're trying to grab my ear. The movie they seem to like the most is Jaws. I have no clue why, but
It's the emotional tension.
huh?
The emotional tension.
Yeah. Ow! Hey,
See,
trying to
so
climb up on. He was trying to climb on my ear. He wasn't trying to hurt me. He was just trying to climb up on my head using my ear as a ladder. That doesn't work too well. No, it doesn't make the greatest ladder. You beg to differ? Hi.
So Eliza wants to know what music the bird's like. She says that Snowbird is partial to Handel, played on her dad's harpsichord, which is awesome. I love that you have a harpsichord. That's so cool.
Yeah, they do like music you actually play in front of them. That can be anything from just playing a percussion instrument to playing something else like a guitar or whatever. But I mean, Peach's favorite music was Rammstein. Um, they like music with a good solid beat. So you could get something like they like the beat of Footloose. In fact, they made a video where they were dancing to Footloose. And what I did is I went into Apple Logic, which is a music creation device, and created music with essentially the same beat. And then I used that. I matched that up to the I made that the background, like they were dancing to the other song, but they like anything with a strong beat. So anything from rock, not so much. They like hard rock to a certain degree. I think they actually prefer metal, like metal music, because it does have a really powerful beat. So and they're good dancers. So if it's got a strong beat, they can dance to it.
I think they enjoy the growling and screaming as well. Probably sounds
Yeah.
very attractive to them.
Bob likes his favorite is Elvis. He'll actually, when he's dancing, he'll actually do like hoots and calls like the audience would do, that kind of thing.
I've written in chat that Babalu likes Bob Marley.
Yeah, they all like Bob Marley, the ones that dance, because it has a good rhythm to it.
But that's true. Elvis is also a favorite for Bob. So I said Chloe listened to musicals as far as I remember, and Romeo likes Willie Nelson as far as I know.
Yep, Romeo likes Willie Nelson. He actually sat through Honeysuckle Rose, the whole movie from beginning to end, the first time I put it on, because he'd been listening to Willie Nelson. So I got him that movie, and he sat with his eyes forward. They could rotate their eyes and make their eyes go stereoscopic. So he watched he watched the whole thing. I tried to get his attention. He looked at me a couple of times, but he looked back. He sat there for an hour and a half and watched the movie. Now he just watches the parts with Willie in it. You're whacking my head with that again. You having fun up there? Sugar's beginning to preen.
Although we don't really know what music Pippa likes, although we can guess that she might enjoy listening to iPhone ringtones.
Maybe.
And I think Lucy likes the song Popcorn.
Oh yeah.
Bob likes anything that has the boogie woogie in it, because you can turn that into a Babalu song, you know. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. He likes that. So
Has Sugar
Good,
ever
man.
reacted to any kind of music?
Not that I've seen. What are you doing, Sugar? She's working on
Maybe
her feather.
maybe she likes something like Gregorian chant or something. Something you don't play much.
Well, actually, most of the I don't usually play Gregorian chants, but usually during the day they're listening to classical music, which there's a lot of different things there. They get pretty excited when you play the Sacre du Breton, the Rite of Spring by Stravinsky. I gets them all going. That's the song in for those who don't know it. That's the orchestral piece that they use for the dinosaurs in Fantasia. It has a lot of atonal sounds in it. And the first time he conducted that on stage, they threw tomatoes at him. Of course, today, if they threw tomatoes, they probably would have killed him because they're not really tomatoes. They're more like baseball. Yeah. They taste like a baseball too. Hey, Mander, wake up there. What are you doing? He's way too relaxed now. He's just sitting up there.
Baroque opera for Shuggy. Who knows? I think that all
Mhm.
from Baroque, or so when you think back on what they were back then, so yeah, the Moluccans, they're also fancy, so who knows?
No. You see, I look at Sugar and I think she's probably like secretly a Philip Glass fan.
She's lost her head for something now.
Mm.
The headless bird. They listen to well, they've heard the entire ring from beginning to end. They like
Oh,
that.
poor birds, poor birds.
You're torturing them.
Yeah, I live in the Wagner city. So it's basically not allowed to say that. No,
I mean,
it's actually super artistic what he has composed, and it's like a complete new way of opera. So it's definitely worth listening to it. Definitely. But I wouldn't listen to it like when I lie on the sofa and want to chillax.
I mean, I like Wagner, but I wouldn't listen to the entire ring cycle. Like, I'd listen to edited highlights, I think.
Mm.
Because the
Yeah,
thing with Wagner is there's a lot of truly sublime moments, but there's also a lot of sitting through to get to the sublime moments,
true.
in my opinion.
No, it's true. They liked they got a well, actually Romeo likes that too. That's Zauberflöte. I have the movie. They did the stage. They actually recorded it on stage, and
Mm.
it's done back in the late '60s, I think. I think it's done in Swedish.
Mm.
But nonetheless, they like that one. Not too much into Bella Bartok. They can tolerate Mahler.
Mm.
What about Janacek? Have they listened to any of his stuff?
No, they haven't.
Mm.
For some
Have you
reason,
ever
never
played
thought.
K-pop to the birds?
No, I haven't tried that yet. That's the kind
Maybe
of thing
Manda likes it.
you need
He
the
looks
video.
like he has no problems with being a little bit feminine.
Yeah, he looks like he would enjoy K-pop,
Mm.
being big and pink.
He can be super male and pink at the same time, right, Mander? I really love you, Mander.
They like Al Yankovic. I don't know if you guys know him, but
Yeah.
I think he actually did quite some parodies on other songs. So from that, I basically know him. And he was mentioned at The Simpsons.
That's all he does is parodies of songs. Yeah.
Okay, then they actually brought him up with that in The Simpsons.
I saw him in concert in San Diego at the county fair. I like his parodies. He doesn't do anything political, but because he doesn't want to lose half of his audience, I'm sure. But it's funny. His stuff is funny.
Well, I think sometimes, or there are actually a lot of people who enjoy in that, there are some areas which are kind of politics free.
Usually comedy has some politics to it here, at least. But
yeah, but it can also be you can view it from that point that it also is politic come to a certain degree when you say you exclude politics. So it's when everything can be politic, but when you say, okay, I'm not one of these sides at which are at the moment, so I try to look from a different angle to it.
If you're making like a parody about a Star Wars movie, it's like you can't, no one can get offended by that.
The safest movie he ever did, though, was the one he did about the Amish, because they're never going to sue him for it.
Yeah.
But that's a hilarious song. It's just, if you haven't seen the one about the Amish, you should. But they obviously they're just going for the beats. So, although that wasn't true of Peaches, she could tell if there are other groups that have similar sound to Rammstein, but if you put them on, she knew the difference. She obviously liked Till Lindemann's voice. So.
And it is quite the voice.
GTH would like to know if any parrot likes jazz of the flock, I think.
Well, they won't dance.
Is that a band or an artist? Dizzy Gillespie? Dizzy Gillespie?
Gillespie.
I don't know.
Gillespie.
Oh, Gillespie. Yeah. The problem with jazz is most of these birds like to dance at some point, and jazz is not that easy for them to dance to. But I played jazz. They'll listen to it. I mean, they seem to like it. I try to keep music going in the main bird room and then the TV in the other room. So, with the exception of when I'm playing something like Chicago or Chorus Line or something like that has music in it. I don't usually run music in both rooms, but I mean, all movies have some music, but when it's really loud and they seem to like to watch dancing. That's something too that most of them don't get to watch it anymore. I don't really have a place to put another TV in that room. I mean, I could get them two TVs. One is a monitor and get, doing the same movie at the same time. But problem with these walls, the way these walls are, you can't hang anything heavy on them. You can't do it. So they're not thick enough to do that.
Got a couple more chatters. We've got Kevin, Pritchard, and Animal House. Hello to both of you.
Hello.
Kevin says, my African grey loves the Pink Panther.
Oh, yeah, Roman watches that sometimes too.
And the Pink Panther theme, I think that really fits to an African grey, kind of sneaky.
Mm-hmm. It's got a good rhythm though. It's the kind of thing they can dance to too, so they would like it. You got like Peter Sellers, although his best movie was Dr. Strangelove.
Mm,
Where he played three
it's a good one.
parts. He was going to play four parts, but he got injured, so they ended up having Slim Pickens in his first movie playing the pilot of a B-52.
Yeah. It's amazing what they used to do, like, because when he did the live radio plays and stuff, like the Goon Show and things like that, they would literally play like 7 or 8 different characters, and sometimes multiple characters would be talking to each other, so it'd just be swapping between voices. And they all did it. It's just amazing what the talent that people used to have. Like, I mean, live radio was something else.
Yeah, Peter Sellers is one of my favorites. We have all of the Pink Panther movies, and quite a few of those. Romeo watches those. Romeo and Mander, because Mander, I'll catch him over there because he can see the TV too. I'll catch him watching it. They even seem to like Dr. Strangelove, which doesn't have any music in it except for that one little spot where the British RAF officer finds a transistor radio. Remember those transistor radios?
I
Yeah,
never had such a thing.
yeah. I was on a strict regimen of being put to bed at 9 o'clock, so I would take a transistor radio, put it under my pillow. I was always ready to go to bed because I would listen to the CBS Mystery Theater. And I would do that by having the transistor radio in my pillow and listen to it. Well, I didn't go to sleep when they told me to.
Although my mom remembers gas lamps, which is kind of crazy.
Wow.
I don't know if she's just really old or if it was just she lived in a really old house. I think she lived in a really old house.
Gas lamps, that's old.
Yeah.
But, when you talk to kids about transistor radios, they don't know what you're talking about.
What's a really funny anachronism is rotary dial phones, because like even though basically nobody alive at this point actually had one, all the kids, they're all growing up like with the toy ones, because if you go into any children's shop, they have little Fisher-Price rotary dial phones for the babies to play with.
I grew up with them.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there are alive people. This is good.
Just barely alive, but yeah. But
Oh
you
no, I
asked
hope I haven't offended the viewers.
I got what do you call it? I have a thing for everybody to do. Just ask somebody to dial a phone number for you. And then when they start punching the number on the screen, say, "Where's the dial?" Because we don't dial phone numbers anymore. We punch them in, right? We tap
Yeah.
the phone number, but we still say dial. Or you'll hear on podcasts, they'll say, "Well, stay tuned." Where's the tuner?
Yeah. We just
There's no
say it, but it's not a thing anymore. Oh, Rosebud says that she had a party line and her grandkids thought it was a phone line to arrange a party.
Yeah, party lines. I'm not quite old enough to remember those. Some areas there were still party lines when I was a kid, though. I know that, but we were not one of those areas. So we did have the exchanges like UL and that kind of thing. You said letters and then you had numbers. Remember that. Yep, we playing again? We playing down there? We playing another song? So you've done the right thing when they sit and with the toy right in front of them. That's where they want to be.
So there's a question from Animal House, Don, who wants to know, how can I introduce my new cockatoo male to my female safely? The male is a rescue.
Well, first of all, you have to make sure they're never allowed to be in the same room alone, and they can't be kept in the same cage. Males are known to kill females, so you don't want to do that. To be really cautious about that, I would say getting their cages 2 feet apart, that kind of thing, is a good way to introduce them. But again, you don't want to get them too close together. You have to make sure they don't bond. They dropped it. Okay, where'd it go? Oh, it's just gone. Oh, there it is. You're done with it? You're done with it. You're going to throw it. I know you are. That's a tough one. It's usually better to have 2 males, 2 females. Because if they get bonded, you're going to have issues.
But this one's a rescue. This one's a rescue. So thank you for rescuing him.
Oh, that's good. I mean, but you have to be really cautious that they don't get bonded. If they get bonded, like, you won't generally see Lorelei in here with Cecil, because they chose to bond to each other, and I have to keep them apart. I'll let them come together for a little while, but if they start exhibiting any signs of mating behavior, I have to separate them again. So, and Cecil won't act normally if she's in the room. He'll be just totally focused on her. So little things can happen, like Cecil will now climb up above me to poop. And he literally poops on me because I keep him away from her. That's when it started. When I could see that they were bonded and I started keeping them separate, then he started literally pooping on me. So you're going to get a little bit of, you know what, if they get bonded, but just try to, you can have them sit next to each other and you can offer them treats at the same time, that kind of thing, but you don't want them to get too close to each other. I've seen this myself, so I'm not just talking about out of the book, okay? This happened with Chloe and Snowball. And then males are known in captivity to start becoming aggressive. It's called mate aggression. And so he wouldn't let her get near the food. He would try to keep her away from food. Took me a little while to figure out what he was doing, but she was getting frustrated because he would keep her away from the food. And then he backed her into a corner and was starting to pull her feathers out. So, and this was, they were a really sweet little couple for a while. And then it went really bad. So you have to be cautious. Just keep an eye on them. Make sure they don't get, he doesn't start fanning his tail. No long preening sessions between them. If you start noting behavior like the male is constantly following the female around, you have to break that up. And then you're going to get some issues on top of that, because he won't be happy you're doing that. And there's a whole section on mate aggression in the Manual of Parrot Behavior by Andrew Lucier. If you've got a male and a female, I recommend buying that book. I know it's expensive, but it can get you through some harrowing times, because it has a whole section that explains to you how, what signs to look for, what the issues are, and just always be with them, supervised. Don't leave them alone together. That's for sure. I hate to sound paranoid, but I've been there. And there's no question that Snowball cared for her, but it's just something about captivity that with male cockatoos can send them into violence. We don't know why.
I'm not sure, has Animal House mentioned if these two are the same species?
I didn't see it mentioned.
Okay.
Well,
Since
keep in mind,
if they have not that kind of interest in each other, it's just one always needs to safely introduce them by how Don already said, basically sit with them together and be ready to go in between.
Yeah,
But
and if you're not
somehow, protected contact.
If you're not, and this is true for most people, it depends on how much experience. I'm not sitting here with a towel in case a bird gets aggressive. But if you've got a male and female like that, you may want to have a towel there in case it does happen. If you need to separate them, you'd be able to throw a towel over one of them and pull it away. So none of this may happen right off, and sometimes it can occur over a long period of time, because Snowball and Chloe were a famous number for 5 years. And then something snapped and he started being rough on her. And I think he still misses her today, though. Hi, Erin.
Hey, Don and Flock.
Hi, Erin.
Hey, Eleanor. Extended
Erin.
Flock fam. Anna Maria. Another beautiful day in the socialization room.
Yep. Was there another question? Not sure.
That's a tough question to answer, too, because you're dealing with different personalities. I mean, sometimes they'll just get along. I mean, Snowball gets along with Lucy, and there's no issue there. He's friendly to her, but he doesn't take it too far. And but you can also have
thing.
You
Because
can have
they may never be interested in each other. They may just want to be friends, and if so, then that's all good.
Yeah.
Because not every male is going to fancy every female, and vice versa.
No. Cecil has no interest in Lucy. I mean, he's friendly with her, he brains her and stuff, but that's it. That's all as far as it goes. But he's of course bonded to Lorelai, so, and you can't control that. If they want to bond, they will. So
Oh, little
you can do
individuals.
things, yeah, you can do things about it though if you're using reward training, especially if you're using ABA, you can deal with it. Cecil's, he acts normally. I do allow him to hang out with her a little bit, but as soon as it starts to go a little too far, he's whisked away or she's whisked away. I don't always take him out first. I may take her out first. I don't want him to get the idea that anytime he gets friendly with Lorelai, he's going to leave the room. So sometimes it's her has to leave too. So. And it can be cross species. I met a hybrid, was a hybrid of a Moluccan and an umbrella, and they're insane.
Oh,
So
I think that's pretty rare, though, that would happen.
thank goodness.
It's hard to say because you see the way Snowball chases after specifically the female Moluccans he gets really close to and tries to snuggle up to, and then he tries to chase him away. So you tell me what that means. I don't know. They don't really know what they are. So because they're raised in captivity by morons that call themselves breeders.
But I mean, Snowball, he knows how to attract females in his species, so I thought it was just a weird fetish thing when he goes after the pink ones. I don't think he actually wants to mate with them.
It's hard to know exactly what he wants, because he will go after and chase. He will literally chase Mander, but he won't do that with Jasmine or Sugar. He'll come sit next to them and sometimes try to preen them. So I don't think he's trying to form a relationship either, because I don't think he's ever gotten over Chloe.
Oh,
but there is different behavior. He treats the females differently than he treats the male. So,
and he was quite sweet on beaches as well, in a sort of understated way.
Yeah, it was a friendly kind of sweet with her. But you're right, he was sweet on her.
He's just a little ladies' man.
Yeah, he's just kind of going for the pink ones, though. I mean, he doesn't
he,
show any
he,
interest.
he reminds me of like, you know, white guys who are neckbeards that really want an Asian girlfriend.
Yeah,
That is a type of guy too. Yep. He likes the pink ones. That's so cute.
he does. He doesn't treat Lizzie that way. He's friendly to her, but he doesn't come and play his little voyeuristic games with her. He just if he'll sit next to her, but he doesn't. Yeah, he'll sit next to Pippa too. He likes to sit next to Pippa, but when he gets near, usually when he gets near Jasmine or he ends up getting near Sugar, eventually they complain because he gets too close. You know,
It's just a bit
just keeps-
uncomfortable.
yeah, it's an uncomfortable kind of thing. Yeah, so
There's
even with
Animal Health says that her cockatoos are self-aggressed. Sorry, I just saw that update just now because I hadn't been looking in the right spot. But they are
Yeah,
sulfurs.
or sulfurs. Yeah, sulfurs are they have a little more attitude than an umbrella. So if they get territorial, you're going to have a little more of a problem. If they bond, they'll start getting territorial. And that's just in general, though. But I mean, the two sulfurs here, both Tritons, they're a trip. That's why we have the phrase Triton trouble.
Yep.
And
Although
Pippa, she was. Go ahead.
So I was just going to say that the upside of them being sulfurs is that if you keep them busy with lots of activities and stuff, that might take their minds off bonding with one another. So you could try and use that to your advantage.
Right.
Yeah, it's true.
Good old enrichment.
You done playing with your toy?
KK,
KK, that bird.
can you show his toy to the viewers again? Because Rosebud said, "Where's KK today?" And that's where he is. He's there with his toy.
Yeah, it's my toy.
He's like, "Give it back, give it back."
Oh my gosh, how cute.
And we have a question by Kevin Pritchard. My African grey will only step up if he's on the ground. If I ask any other time, he gets hormonal. Any tips, please?
I'm thinking.
I wonder if the hand position could come into play at all, where maybe you get your finger really low when he's on the ground, and that's just one thing that just popped into my head.
Will he step up onto a stick?
Oh, we did?
No,
That's
I'm asking.
Oh,
Will
as
he?
That's a good question. They develop well, like when you train a bird to do something, you have to generalize the behavior after you do that. If you train a bird to step up from a perch, they may not step up from something else. They may react from different parts of their cage. For example, if Romeo's on the bottom of his cage, you don't try to pick him up unless you want to go get the medical kit. If he's sitting on a perch and he's leaning forward, then you can put your hand out and he'll climb over. But you don't do it when he's on the bottom of the cage. So if I want him to start doing that, I have to change things around because I leave a big piece of 2x4 there for him to chew on, and he does his sculpting. He'll sculpt for a while on it, get one side all rounded out the way he wants, and then he'll stop playing with it and you flip it over and he goes back down. He actually stops That's his signal for you that I'm not doing this until you flip it over. So if you want to generalize behavior like this, if you're picking him up from the floor, which you might try doing, is using a treat, that's something that you figure out what he likes best and take it out of his diet. Quite often that's sunflower seeds, but it can be a bit of almond, a bit of cashew, whatever. You figure out what their
Dawn,
favorite.
I think
Yeah.
KK is a little bit too jiggy with your hand.
Yeah, you're right. I'm trying to think, and he's using the opportunity.
And
Hey,
he's
Hey.
misusing.
Hey, let's stop. Hey.
He's like, Daddy's absent. Let's make some eggs.
If anyone's wondering what male cockatoo mating behavior looks like, then that's it.
That's absolutely it. It's like when they're running around at your hand, and it's with a cockatoo like that, it's like, okay, same behavior with a little Pachi. I can tell. No idea what they're thinking, but when they do it.
So cute.
Yeah,
Okay.
he caught me not paying attention.
They always do.
Try to put your hand down there and raise it up just a little bit, even if it's only a half an inch, and just keep working your hand up until he eventually has to reaches for it. And then once he gets there, you say, good bird, as he's climbing onto your hand, say good bird and give him the treat. The point of the bridge is because you want to reward the actual behavior. Don't reward a bird for sitting on your hand. That's dumb. You want to reward them for the actual action of climbing over. So
Timing is everything.
I would do that, and then you want to work them up a little bit. You might put them on a perch that's low to the ground, or a table that's low to the ground, and then do the same thing where they're a little bit off the floor. In other words, you're raising them up a little bit, and they just keep going up and up and up on the higher and higher spaces until you get them to where he's used to coming over. That's one way you can do it. The other way is like they were talking about, using a stick. If you'll climb on a stick, some birds will, some birds won't. Get him to come over on a stick and then come over to your hand. But again, you have to do all this in slow motion and baby steps, because they don't understand our language, so we can't tell them what we want. And if you offer a reward for it, then they're going to do it for the reward until they get full. If you're using the bridge and you're saying good when they get, like, good boy, when they climb up on your hand, then that bridge will maintain its power over the bird. It's not really power, but it will maintain the bird in as a reward, as a secondary reward. And you can start using that too, and then just intermittently giving a treat, but wait till you've got them where you want them first. Trying to encapsulate all that. Stop that. Why do you do that? You're such a silly bird. You don't want to get him. He trusts you, and you lunge at him. Don't do that. Now you're up on my shoulder for a while.
Is that Cecil?
And KK gets close to her. Anybody gets close to her, and she starts, no, I don't want anybody around me.
Lucy.
Yeah, she gets herself into trouble. Wait a minute. I'm trying to preen that head. Can you let me preen it just a little bit?
She's too stubborn for her own good, isn't she? That girl. You're a stubborn girl, Liz.
She is stubborn. She's just a little. Okay, when I press the button, you're supposed to flip. There you are. She doesn't like sitting on my shoulder. I put her up there because she was using this rather ineffective beak on him. She can't hurt anybody. And there's no easy way to make that beak shorter.
No. Beautiful.
Yeah, it's not,
beautiful girl.
Not like the nail on your finger,
Right.
Yeah, I sure don't know how many hours of study I've had on all this, and tests and everything I've had on applied behavior analysis, but getting these guys to do something requires that you recognize that everything you do, they're paying attention to, and sometimes you're rewarding the wrong behavior. So,
Yep.
learning
Every
to-
interaction can be a training experience. So
Yep.
keeping that in mind.
Yep. What did Dr. Zulik said? Whenever you're within earshot of a bird, there's training going on.
Mm. Yeah,
And
birds
usually
train
both
all the
ways.
time.
It's usually both ways. They're training you and you're training them. So, well, folks, we've gone a little over. I guess we'll have to shut this down, won't we?
But we'll be back Monday. So see you guys here again on Monday for our photo competition. Is that
Absolutely.
what it's gonna be?
Until that, I will have finally get the PowerPoint presentation up, and the judges will have judged.
Ooh.
So it's very exciting.
It is.
Excellent.
Who will win the Chloe Sanctuary photo contest? So stay tuned for a lot of cuteness.
See, you said it. You said stay tuned.
Who
Can't
said
wait.
stay
Where's
tuned?
the tuner?
You did.
Where's the tuner?
Where's
I
the
am.
tuning dial?
Yeah. I want to find that rheostat. Where is it?
Okay.
Uh,
Cute.
Thank you, Eleanor and Anna Marie and Aaron.
Erin.
And we will see you next Monday.
See you next time.